Can she talk about the things in her life from day to day? Will she have some music, quotes, news, rants, and more sent your way? Where's the podcast when you need it? It's here every week or two, and now you get to hear it. Hello, everyone. My name is Zari Alexandria, and welcome to Where's the Podcast When You Need It, where I talk about anything and everything. Welcome to episode, drumroll please, episode 1. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's so unexpected. Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Wow, what an audience. But in all seriousness, I'm so excited to do this podcast. I am a sucker for podcasts, and the fact that I'm doing my own boggles my mind. And whether thousands of people are listening to this or one person is listening to this, which is probably the case, maybe 5 at most. Anyways, I am still pumped and I am excited that you, yes, you out there, are listening. So, thank you. When I am recording this episode, it is a Thursday, but when you are listening to this episode, it is a beautiful Saturday with nothing but good vibes. Yes, my life motto is good vibes, and the motto of this podcast is good vibes. So, hopefully that sticks around. And with that said, let's get started, shall we? Okay, before we actually get started, I wanted to give you guys a layout, if you will, of what the podcast is going to consist of. I know I said in episode 0 I wanted it to be as random as possible, but I didn't want to ramble on about nonsense because people wouldn't listen. So I decided to have some sort of layout so it is some kind of organized. So here is the layout for the podcast. So it starts off with Fun Fact of the Week, then my music, which can consist of upcoming releases, new written songs, covers, or me even singing a bit. It depends. We'll also have Song of the Week, where I will take I can take song suggestions. Yes, I am reading this off my notes because I do not have this structure memorized. Then we're going to have week highlights, whether that's positive or negative. I know I said good vibes, but sometimes things don't work out and there are negative things. But even if I do talk about negative things, we will always end on a positive note. There's the good vibes. Then after that, there'll be quote of the week, possibly a rant depending on the episode. I will not have Wow, this is harder than I thought. There's going to be a lot of stuttering. If you do not know me, I stutter a lot, so be aware. Can't believe I'm doing a podcast. Wow. Okay. Woo. Rant. I might rant a couple episodes. It depends, but I will not rant every episode. And I will always end with something good from the news because we are surrounded by negativity. And again, say it with me, good vibes. We want nothing but good vibes. Okay, now that the layout is out of the way, let's actually get started. Actually, one more thing, I lied. I record everything with my headphone mic, so if anything sounds glitchy or weird or bad, that's why. I do not have an actual microphone. I'm working with what I have. And I put a little bit of reverb for effect because the headphone mic is really bad, so I want something a little bit cool at least to drown the bad quality out. Okay, now we're starting. Let's start off with the fun fact of the week. Actually, I have a couple. One's an actual fact, and another is podcast related. So the fun fact of the week I have found from rd.com. I found it today. Reader's Digest, that's what RD stands for. Okay, here's the fact. Did you know that the first oranges weren't orange? Because I sure didn't know. Let's read this. The original oranges from Southeast Asia were a tangerine pomelo hybrid. and they were actually green. In fact, oranges in warmer regions like Vietnam and Thailand still stay green through maturity. Ooh. So, oranges weren't orange, they were green. And they became orange in some places. I just thought that was cool because we literally call oranges the color orange, and it didn't even start off as orange. It's weird, I know, and you're probably like, wow, Zari, that's so lame. Why do you find that interesting? I find really small things interesting, so let me live. Okay, the podcast related fact, I wanted to talk about how I came up with the name Where's the Podcast When You Need It. Of course, if you have listened to my song Where's the Yellow, there's a lyric, Where's the yellow when you need it? So I took that lyric and put podcast in because I thought it was funny. But it was actually with the help with my dear friend Mackenzie. Shout out Mackenzie. She was on FaceTime with me, and I asked her, hey, I need a podcast title. Help me out. I don't know what to title it. And she said, okay, make it a spoof of Where's the Yellow? Because that's my brand. And I originally just said, Where's the Podcast? That didn't make sense. That was just off the top of my head. But then I actually thought about it for a little bit more. It's like, haha, where's the podcast when you need it? That's pretty funny. So, and I made a theme song. So the theme song you just heard is the second verse of Where's the Yellow? Which you can stream everywhere, by the way. Mini plug. I'm not even in the music section yet. But now we are. Up next, my music. For those who don't know me or are randomly discovering this, which is really weird, but it can happen. First of all, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Zari. You know that. But I make music. I released a whole entire project on August 23rd called Color Exploration, which you can find here on my YouTube channel or on SoundCloud. And I released the single Where's the Yellow on August 9th on all streaming streaming services. People always mix up service and device when they promote songs, but it's technically streaming service. So I'm a big music person, and I started writing songs in 2017. Seriously writing songs in 2017. So it was the beginning of my freshman year in high school when I started actually writing songs. And I actually wrote a song on August 30th called Stayed Away, and I'm thinking of releasing the demo the week after you guys are listening to this. So you are listening to this September 7th, hopefully. So I will probably release the demo September 9th. And I wrote it at my dad's house, and it's very catchy. And I wrote it in a structure I've never written in before. And I try to write in different structures than in previous songs, so it can sound a little bit different. But it's in the pop genre, and people call it like show tunes or theater because that's technically what it is. It's like, it could be in a musical. People usually compare me to Disney princesses, and while I don't really like Disney princesses except for a few, I will take it as a compliment. Because if someone from Disney was like, hey, we want you to be a Disney princess, I would go for it. So I said for music, I would talk about upcoming releases, new written songs, covers, and maybe sing. Today I'm not gonna sing. My voice is trash. I have not warmed up today. That's just not gonna happen. Maybe in the future. But upcoming releases, I have mentioned the demo. I produce, quote, quote, a song that I am planning on putting out on all streaming devices services, on all streaming services in October. And the song is actually called The Ghost is Disappearing. I'm saying the title because most people know of the song. And it's really catchy. It's really sad, but it's very catchy. So hopefully things not go out to plan. Hopefully things go as planned, and it can be released in early October, mid-October at the latest. As for new written songs, I already talked about Stayed Away. That's the song that will be the demo. This is why I need a layout, because I just ramble. But this is what you signed up for. As for covers, I want to upload more or post more covers as the year goes on Instagram, maybe like 1-minute covers or full-on covers, but I am a busy person, and with school and after school stuff and this podcast, I don't know if that's going to happen, but if I happen to be working on learning a song or have posted a cover, you guys will know about it. I think that's all for my music. If you want to find my music, you can search up Zari Alexandria on SoundCloud or here on YouTube, or you can just click the little thing that leads to the rest of my videos. And if you want to find Where's the Yellow, you can just search up Where's the Yellow or search up Zari Alexandria on all streaming services. Okay, that's it for my music. Now let's go on to Song of the Week. I listen to a lot of songs and a lot of different artists, but most of the songs I listen to are alternative, rock, or indie, with occasional pop here and there. I am open to many genres except for most trap music, because it's not really my thing, and definitely country. I can't do country. So if you like country music, I can't. I really can't do country music. I've tried, guys. I've tried, and it's a no. Song of the week. Song of the week this week is, or song of the podcast, because I don't know if this is going to be an every week thing, but the song of this podcast is called Somebody Else. No, not the 1975 song, though that is a beautiful song. I am talking about Somebody Else by the band Fredo Disco. People think it's Fredo Disco. It's Fredo. There's like an accent on the E. So, a good friend of mine, her name is Peyton. Peyton, if you are listening to this, hello. I hope you... Wow, words are hard. I hope you are doing well. She introduced me to Fredo Disco a year ago and said, hey, I think you'd like this band. They released an album today, which was August 10th of last year. Listen to it. I listened to it. It was great. They re-released the album in April, I believe, and there's 5 new songs, and one of those 5 new songs that wasn't on the original album, called Very Cool Music for Very Cool People, by the way, is called Somebody Else. And it's one of the few songs on there that don't have any curse words, which is kind of ironic because people see me as an innocent child. But I just like it because it's very relatable. It's very catchy. It's very upbeat. There's like a breakdown section where you can hear all the instruments in the song. It's just a really good song. So, Song of the Week / podcast is Somebody Else by Fredo Disco. I will also be seeing them live in November, and I'm so pumped. I literally cried when I found out I would be going, and I will talk about that more when the time comes. But Fredo Disco is such a good band. So check them out. Check out Somebody Else at the least. And yeah. This is going straight. Like, this is going fast. But once I talk about my week highlights, then it's going to be getting long. Now we are at week highlights. I'm sorry if you hear a zzz. You probably can't hear it because I have headphones in, but I am in a wheelie chair, and it is gas powered, I believe. So it makes a zzz, zzz every time I turn it. You probably can't hear it, but I'm not taking any chances. So week highlights. So this week was the first day of school. I know. First day of school, it's never fun, ever. With a few exceptions, like seeing your friends for the first time in a couple months, depending on if you saw them over the summer or not. I saw a few of my friends every single day, every single weekday, up until mid-August, because I did a show over the summer. Shout out Rosebud! But first day of school was not bad. I am a mentor. I am in leadership. So I get to hang out with freshmen and help them get through their first year of high school. And I am in a mentor group with the lovely T Haven. T Haven, I know you are a busy person, but if you are listening, hello! T Haven and I have been friends for a couple of years now. We were in theater together my freshman year, her sophomore year, and we are still in theater together. And the amount of energy from her sophomore year to now has changed so much. She went from really quiet and laid back to drinking 3 cups of coffee a day, maybe 5 depending on the day, and being all over the place. But she adapted into that, and I aspire to be her, and she's awesome. And being in a mentor group with her as my executive mentor, meaning she's the leader, is so cool, and I am so happy, and we work so well together. It's like dynamic duo, So I'm glad that it turned out that way. And the other mentors with us are so cool. They are so laid back. They know what they're doing. Even like the sophomore mentors, it's literally their first year of mentoring. And it seems like they've been doing it forever. And it's awesome. Like, and the freshmen, they are so funny. And they are willing to do anything and everything. Like, I talk about anything and everything in this podcast. Ayo! Referencing the intro. Anyhow, the freshmen are just so cool. And I already knew a few of them. A lot of them are theater kids, actually. Maybe because the advisory teacher is my theater teacher, Miss Clifton. But just their energy and their, like, willing to do anything, even if they internally hate it, is so awesome. So that is a definite positive of my week, is that advisory. What else has happened this week? I'm trying to look at the calendar. I hung out with Mackenzie on the last day of summer, which was Labor Day. We went to 2 malls. We had McDonald's, and I was at her house. And speaking of her house, I printed out job interviews there because my printer is very low on ink, and when my printer is low on ink, I usually use the school printer, but school hadn't started yet, so I was out of luck. But she let me use her printer to print out job applications because I am 16 and I was looking for a job. And I wanted to go to some places and hand them my job application, so it showed them I was ready and prepared. I stopped at Baskin Robbins and handed them my job application the next day, which was the first day of school. And I called Joann's back saying that they wanted me to interview with them. And they said, "Oop, well, the person who wants to interview with you is not here, so call her back tomorrow." It's like, okay, cool. A few hours later, I was chilling at my desk where I am sitting right now. Shout out to my desk. Lots of shout outs. But my desk is so great, and I do everything at my desk. I bullet journal at my desk. I do homework at my desk now. I just watch videos from YouTube at my desk. 10 out of 10 desk. Shout out Walmart. Not a sponsor. There are no sponsors. Who am I kidding? Anyways, wow. People actually want to listen to me talk. Sorry, that was a realization moment. So after I handed the job application to Baskin Robbins and then called back Joanne's, a few hours later, I was just chilling at my desk and I get a call. The area, you know how when you get a call, it shows you the area in the state? I'm not going to just say the area, because why do that? Why put the area I am close to on blast? But the area showed up, and whenever I get calls from jobs I have applied to, it has been that area, that certain area. So I was like, maybe this is a job calling me for an interview. So I picked up the phone and I said, hello? And I hear, hi, is this Zari Alexandria? I was about to say my actual last name. Don't want to put myself on blast. So, hi, is this Zari Alexandria? And I said, yes, hi, it is Zari. And she said, hi, this is so-and-so from Michael's. We were wondering if you are still available to work for us. We want to hire you. And I went from scared to panicking because I literally went to Baskin Robbins and handed them a job application and was planning on calling back Joanne's. And a few hours later, Michael's calls me back saying, hey, we want to hire you. So I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to my mom first. I sounded just like that. But I talked to my mom. She had me ask these questions, and I was just clarifying a whole bunch of stuff. And I start training September 14th. Guys, I have a job. I don't start until next week. So if a podcast doesn't come out on the 14th, you know why. I mean, I record them ahead of time, but I might be busy leading up to that Saturday, and I'm just giving you a warning. But I have a job. It's minimum wage, but Michael's is like a really low-key store, very quiet, very calm, not a lot of stress. It was very calm when I went in, very nice, very peaceful, and that is the exact environment I want to work in. So I am ecstatic! So those are two good things, or a few good things actually. So school starting, hang out with Kenzie, having a job so I can stop complaining that I'm broke all the time. Oh, today I had my first officer meeting. Fun fact, not really a fun fact, but a fact about me, I am the president of the club Black Student Union at my high school, and I thought I wasn't going to be president until my senior year, but because usually presidents of clubs or like ASB or anything are seniors. It's very hard for a junior to be a president of a club. They might be vice president or some officer, but I have been in Black Student Union or BSU since my freshman year. I started off as the secretary, actually. They put trust in me. They had my trust? I don't know. They trusted me. There we go. Again, words are hard. They trusted me to take the role of secretary, and I did a stinking good job. I know it's bragging, but as a freshman that they didn't know, I wanted to show them that I could do it, and I did it. And sophomore year, I became co-vice president. And at the end of last year, my advisor, Mr. Springfield, I would say shout out to Mr. Springfield, but he's not listening. But he's so cool, and he's great, and he loves me, and I love him, and we're partners in crime in a BSU sense. He asked me what my availability was. I said, I'll be available on Thursdays. And he was like, I'm appointing you as president. And the second he told me I was president, I went to work and created a whole bunch of things to prepare for the beginning of the school year, which I still have, and he is aware of, and I am on top of my A game. He gave me a project to do. He said to have it in by Monday. I'm almost done. I just need to add a few pictures to show what our club has done, and I will be good to go. That's pretty much it for BSU. The meeting, or like the backstory of it. The meeting went well. Our vice president didn't show up, which is not good because that was the first officer meeting and it was 10 minutes. So that's something a little bit negative. But as I say, good vibes. Everything was fine. Everything will be okay by next Thursday for the first meeting of the year. And I have high hopes for it. I will be doing a lot of promotion for it. And hopefully people come. I hope so. Our PR person, her name is Jalea. She did a lot of our flyers last year, and she is great as well. She does a lot of activities, but she is also on top of her A game. And I told her, like, I know you're busy. Just let me know ahead of time of stuff, and everything will be okay. I'm being a little bit more strict this year than the past 2 years I've been in BSU as well, just because we need to be more assertive. Is that the right word? I don't use big vocabulary. I think you could tell by my constant stuttering and me not knowing how to phrase stuff that I don't use big vocabulary. But you know, everything will be fine. I have a good feeling that this year, because I know what I'm doing, I'm seeing what needs to improve and what has been good. Like I know what I'm stepping into. I'm getting my feet wet, you know? I think that's it for all the things that happened this week. I mean, the week isn't over because I am recording this on a Thursday, but tomorrow I might go to the football game. It's my school versus the school I was supposed to be going to but didn't go to. So a lot of my friends go to the opposing school. So I might pop in, say hello, watch the first half, and then leave. Because I'm not a football person. But we'll see. And Saturday, when you are listening to this, I might go to Seattle. I don't know. I might end up doing homework or other BSU things. We'll see. Oh, one last thing before I end up. Why am I doing a podcast? I cannot speak. Wow. Okay. One last thing before I end this segment. My friend Sarah, shout out Sarah, because I know she's listening to this. She's one of my greatest friends ever, and she's a huge support. Like, she gives me nothing but support, and I love her to pieces. She knitted me this whole entire blanket to resemble Where's the Yellow. And it's so cool. Like, there's gray on it, so to show, like, the darkness. And then it's like, Where's the Yellow? Has, like, specks of yellow. Like, the joy trying to come in. It's so clever. And it's so warm, and I'm wearing it right now. And it's beautiful and fuzzy and soft. And, Also, I will be seeing the Fredo Disco concert with her. She was the one who bought the tickets. And made me ugly cry. Because no one has actually, like, no one outside of my family has bought me tickets before. So the fact that she did that, so sweet. So shout out Sarah. Thank you for the blanket and the Dutch Bros from 2 days ago. Well, more days ago because it's Saturday for you. I will get used to it. Okay, we're already at the 30-minute mark, so I am going to wrap up the week highlights and move on to quote of the week. Now, quote of the week or podcast, because it's not a weekly thing. I think you know that by now. I am a person who loves quotes, whether it's funny quotes from people I look up to, like celebrities, or just inspiring quotes that get me through the day. So, should we do a funny quote or an inspiring quote? Let's start off with a funny quote. For now, because it's the first episode. Maybe later on we'll do more inspiring stuff. So, let's see. I did not research quotes ahead of time. I did research the fun facts, but not the quotes because I kind of forgot. No, I'm imperfect. We're all imperfect. So, these aren't funny. These are horrible. Wow. Do I have to pause this? I really don't want to pause this. So I'm just going to hurry up and see a quote. Okay, we're just going to go with this one. To succeed in life, you need 3 things. A wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. Can I get an amen? Amen. Thank you. I promise the next podcast will have a better quote because I forgot to research ahead of time. And to wrap things up, we're going to do something good from the news. And actually, even though I haven't looked up something good from the news ahead of time, my mom did tell me something today. Special shout out to my mom. My mom gets the biggest shout out of all because that is my number one. She is my number one. I told her I was doing the podcast and she's like, okay, cool. So she's very supportive, very loving, very, very caring. She is there for me no matter what, and I really appreciate that. And I hope I could do that for my future kids if I do have kids. Just give the same amount of support and love as her. But I don't think anyone could top it. Maybe your moms, because let's be honest, we're all biased towards our mothers. But something she told me today is that Nicki Minaj is retiring. Yes, Nicki Minaj is retiring. Now, if I pull up the message my mom sent me, if you will, let's see. Nicki Minaj retired. She said she wants to have kids. And my mom continues to say, they say she got a marriage license with some dude, but they aren't sure, so the press isn't sure if they're married yet or not. I guess she feels she has a lot of money, so she can be a mom now. Maybe she'll come back after the kid is older, who knows. I just thought it was interesting. I'm not a fan of Nicki Minaj. I mean, Super Bass, catchy. Starships, catchy. Her new stuff, haven't heard it. Anaconda, weird. Let's be honest, that song was very weird, and 10-year-old me was very confused. But I think that was when that song came out. But I just found it interesting that, I mean, retiring your whole career to start a family is something, like, I guess could happen. It's just a rarity. I mean, Cardi B had a kid and she's still going. Not a fan of Cardi B either, but I'm just giving an example. But, you know, it's up to her. It is her choice. I respect that choice. I just thought it was interesting because, I mean, she released a new song like a month ago and she's like, I'm retiring. I'm having kids. Okay, good for you. If you want to have kids and retire, great. But I just thought, again, that was interesting. Next week I'll have a better research fact. Or not a fact, something from the news. I mean, fact of the week, something good from the news. I don't know if that's good if she retired. I mean, good for her. Yeah, good for her. And if you don't like Nicki Minaj, that is something good from the news for you. Okay. This podcast was very interesting. I think as time goes on, I will get more warmed up to it and be more prepared, hopefully, and not stutter as much because I'll be used to it. But we will see. I know I'm going to look back at this in a few months and be like, wow, this is trash. Why? But we all have to start somewhere. And on that note, that's it for the podcast, I guess. Thank you guys for listening. I don't have a set up outro yet because I forgot that some things have outros. So, next podcast I'll have an outro. If you haven't subscribed to me yet on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, like this podcast, leave a comment on maybe your favorite timestamp or your favorite moment if you don't want to leave the timestamp, or something you want to hear me talk about in the next podcast, whether it's news or a fact or a song I should listen to. Leave your song suggestions too, because I will actually look at those and listen to the songs, and maybe they'll end up as a future song of the week. I might change it to song of the podcast. We'll see. Again, I'll be more prepared next time. And I think that's all I have. All right. First episode complete. I will see you on a future Saturday. Bye!